here in a field of kale. We'll discuss the few different steps in putting a plant in the ground properly. First, what we do is we take our hand, we get a hold of the plant properly in our left hand if we're righty, and then we take a good jab into the ground, open it up, set the plant down behind it, bring the soil to it, and press. One more time. In a case where soil may be a bit stiff, because conditions aren't always perfect, say in here, we're a little softer on the edge. Sometimes we'll see that's a little bit stiffer. So I have to jab a little bit more and get a little bit more aggressive with that, but I do want to make sure that the plant sets in up to the collar, which is right in here, right there. So we're covering all this right here. So I'm giving it a little bit of a wiggle, and then I come in right behind my planting shovel so that sets in real nice, and then I can use my shovel to cover and press. Again, it's always important to make sure you get the plant in your hand firmly so you can control the drop. Now some people will try to go this way, and it's not quite as easy to do because now you're digging up a hole, so this is how not to. Now you have a big hole you're dealing with, and then you have to do all this filling. Now that works good if you're a child, and it's more of a children's kind of a demonstration because they can't do a backhand jab. But the planting is a little bit more of a strong backhand and a couple good hits, and you get it in deep enough. One of the biggest issues that we see in transplanting, kind of malfunction. Well, there's a depth requirement per plant, an optimum depth, requirement. If the plant is planted too high meaning shallow.
You can't watch the Google video?
One will have what we call the cell exposed, the plant cell. If the plant was buried too deep, we would be choking on the leaf structure, and then it can't breathe. And that'll take a lot longer for the plant to actually recover. So what we like to do is we like to plant right in here, just below, on a kale, just below the apex here of the crown. You want to be jabbing more straight down and not building a big hole. And then using the tool to lever, and while the tool is levered, the plant is dropped. And it's a basic technique for all transplants, other than that there are different depth requirements in different plants. But I think that's about. So for those who come to a field in a transplanting session, we'll always choose one or two or maybe even three people to be laying out, and so they're laying out at a specific design or grid, and in this case the grid is a diagonal pattern.
Laying out kale, thinking about how big these plants are going to become as they grow and mature. So we're laying them out on about a foot apart, a foot to 14 inches. They're pretty strong in their cells. Just pop out a handful at a time. lay them out, and these guys are coming along behind us real quick. Just scoop them up and plant them in before they dry out in the sun. We like to lay them out on a diagonal. So they're staggered, so there's one in the center, and then on the sides they're offset. So they have a little bit extra room to expand, get big and frilly. Yeah.
These plants are perennial plants, and they have a lot of grass. The grass takes over. So we're just taking the plant right out of the pot and cleaning off the grass so that the plant can be done wintering. It's summer, guys. And then there's a little bit of chaff plant material, like some hay that we put in. And now that's cleaned, done. And I just picked the next one. So this kind of thing, you don't have to squat down on the ground in the field. We also have shade and an apricot tree.